fucking thing sucks!
In 5, 4, 3.
They say the vote is just a smokescreen. I hope you acting like we got control over who gets chosen. I think it's a joke. The president's on dope, sniffing coke. He's just a puppet of Patsy, taking orders from a cult to the mask. He was dancing with the devil, so we can't ever trust. You got us by the balls, power, blood, money, and lust. Just take control of yourself. You know that change is a must. The initials of the U.S. is us. Before you join the military, see what the war's about. We got a lot of dirt to clean in our house.
Committed treason. It's the reason we stand and we fight through the darkness and the light. The government lied. Soldiers died in the fire of war. They got burnt. They had to learn the hard way.
Permanent Patriot here, over at allgov.com. I told you I've been looking into Department of Justice for a minute, and that's because I wanted to see what they were doing, because all around the world, countries are coming out left and right with the war crime shit against the United States. And, you know, most of it, I should say, nobody even wanted to bring up before, for fear of assassination. And like I keep telling you, assassination day's coming. And, I mean, if you thought the bankers and the microbiologists and shit or something, the deaths of them. And folks, the reason they were murdering them off is pretty obvious. From what the others like them say, is that they found a cure for something, whether it be AIDS or cancer. They've had a cure. I mean, come on, folks. How come nothing ever happens to these elitist scumbags? They never get sick. You never hear about them being in a car accident. Nothing. Fucking tripped on the sidewalk. Nothing. So, for years now, many countries have already had, I mean, they'll wait until the presidents and shit get out of office, thinking that they can't be touched because they're out of office. Well, moron, hello, they all work together. If you're gonna threaten one of their fucking presidencies, you're gonna threaten them all. But years ago, I don't even remember the fucking date. Years ago, though, they indicted George W. Bush and most of his administration. And when that happened, they started putting flight restrictions on him. They wouldn't go to certain countries. They wouldn't fly over certain countries. And folks, that's where all this shit like the G20 and NATO and all that shit come in. It's fucking New World Order. You know, there's like 3 different factions of them. You know, the Asians, the Europeans, and us over on this side, all fighting to be number 1. But they all got the same agenda. Just look at China. China's gonna be the next technological giant. They're gonna be number 1 in everything. And Russia's just going to be the cleanup crew. But I was looking at some of this shit because there's a lot of people most of the people doing this international war crime shit are the Malaysian courts, and they don't hold anything back, man. Just go watch on Court TV or the real Court TV, or you know, C-SPAN or something, RT, and you can watch the trials live right there. Watch fucking George Bush be found guilty, sentenced to death. I mean, folks, There's a lot of countries after our leaders. And hey, I'll be the first one to say, good. Get them the fuck out the way. You gotta understand though, these people take our leaders out. They will easily be able to take over the country and put in whatever the fuck they want by strong arm. Cause they ain't gonna do it nice like our government. That's for damn sure. Yeah, two people historically you do not want to meet in war are the Russians and the Chinese. But, sex scandal shit. Child kidnapping. Dying Corps is a major part of it. And, Cynthia McKinney, congressman, she knew that. She was investigating them for a while. And, investigating Donald Rumsfeld and a slew of other people that were involved in it. And they all gave the same answers, you know. Talk to that guy. Talk to that guy. The thing with this is nothing is being done about this child pornography, child kidnapping. I mean, they all tie in together. But the reason all this is coming up is because you remember the Natalie Holloway case. Cute chick from Alabama goes to Aruba on paradise vacation and never be seen again. I don't even think they solved that case. I think they just stopped working. Well, right now, what the facts are is that Joran Vandersloot prick is a head honcho in a sex slave ring throughout Asia and Europe, something like that. But yes, he's head of a major child or sex slave ring is what they said. And yeah, and see, this is why he was stabbed in prison. Because they found out what he fucking was, what he did for a living. Can't believe it's not like right at the top of the fucking list. There it is. Being investigated in Thailand for participation in sex slave. Vandersloot being investigated in Thailand for participation in sex slave gang disappearance of girls. That was fucking in 2010. I just started about this the other day. You fucking piece of shit, though. Why he is in New York City, I have no fucking idea. What are we, fucking world court? So anyways, he would be one working with a fucking slime ball like this. Jimmy Savile. Fucking disgusting, isn't he? Dude rapes. He's like the head of NAMBLA. This guy thinks it's okay to sleep with, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids. Never been indicted. On how many charges? Fucking thousands of charges. And you know who else has never been indicted, but has been formally charged? The Prince. His good buddy. Yeah, they have these wild, crazy, fucking, sex orgy things all the time. See, these are the fucking slime balls that need to be wiped from the earth. And just so happens that most of them are in the UK and US governments. So we got a lot of work to do. And a lot of blood to be spilled. So, what's the Attorney General doing in the Department of Justice about this? And of course, most of them come out of California. Yeah, you got it, folks. You know damn well what they're doing about it. Not a fucking thing. Because if they were doing something, they would be doing what Cynthia McKinney was doing. I was going to show this yesterday, but I completely forgot about it. The return of Congressman Cynthia McKinney, who one of the very few people in history that I would even attempt to elect, let alone vote for. Watch her handle this fucking schmuck. Learn something. All you people out there in government, fucking learn something. And then she said, fuck that. I'm getting out of here. And they're like, yes. And she's like, that's right, I'm going to get my PhD and I'll be back, motherfucker. PhD over with. Who's next? Take a look. Folks, listen to this poor fucking schmuck, Donald Rumsfeld. Should have a javelin jammed up his asshole. But watch her handle this scum. Yeah, I'm kidding. Here they are talking about it, fucking Congress, asshole.
The gentlelady from Georgia, Ms. McKinney.
Georgia.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I watched President Bush deliver a moving speech at the United Nations in September 2003, in which he mentioned the crisis of the sex trade. The president called for the punishment of those involved in this horrible business. But at the very moment of that speech, DynCorp was exposed for having been involved in the buying and selling of young women and children. While all of this was going on, DynCorp kept the Pentagon contract to administer the smallpox and anthrax vaccines and is now working on a plague vaccine through the Joint Vaccine Acquisition Program. Mr. Secretary, is it policy of the U.S. government to reward companies that traffic in women and little girls? That's my first question. My second question, Mr. Secretary, according to the Comptroller General of the United States, there are serious financial management problems at the Pentagon, to which Mr. Cooper alluded. Fiscal year 1999, 2.3 trillion missing.
Notice she said fiscal year 99, 2.3 trillion missing. Anybody remember September 10th, 2001? Donald Rumsfeld at the podium at the Pentagon. Oh, there's $2.3 trillion missing, we can't account of it. Fucking what? 2-3 years later.
Fiscal year 2000, 1.1 trillion missing. And DOD is the #1 reason why the government can't balance its checkbook. The Pentagon has claimed year after year that the reason it can't account for the money is because its computers don't communicate with each other. My second question, Mr. Secretary, is who has the contracts today to make those systems communicate with each other? How long have they had those contracts? And how much have the taxpayers
See how long
paid
this takes.
for them? Finally, Mr. Secretary, after the last hearing,
He's not going to answer.
I thought that my
You don't
office
answer
was
anyway.
promised a written response to my question regarding the 4 war games on September 11th. I have not yet received that response, but would like for you to respond to the questions that I've put to you today, and then I do expect the written response to my previous question, hopefully by the end of the week.
Thank you, Representative. The answer to your first question is no, absolutely not.
Oh, wow, thanks for going into
detail. The
detail.
United States government is clear, unambiguous, and opposed to the activities that you described. Even
though you were caught doing
second
it.
question.
Right.
Well, how do you explain the fact that DynCorp and its successor companies have received and continue to receive government contracts?
I would have to go and find the facts, but there are laws and rules and regulations with respect to...
Folks, Folks, does this fucking schmuck know that he's the boss? Oh jeez, get me the fuck away from this guy.